Hey folks, Ron here. So I'm about to do a video on Judy Garland's last full-time residence, but I stumbled upon this one here as I'm passing it. Really, you can just see the gate, and the gate extends all the way down. That way. Can't really see much, but this was Phyllis Diller's home, and it wasn't sold to the current residents till 1991. I don't know whether that's the year she died or not. I'm gonna have to research that, but gosh, I wish we could see more, but we could see a little bit of the house there. Okay, so in a moment, I'm going to come back to you with the rest of the story. Okay, just as I was passing by, I was able to do some research on that beautiful house back there behind those gates with the security cameras and say, I wonder who lived there. And sure enough, Phyllis Diller. All right, be back with you in a minute, folks. Okay, folks, so I'm back, and you know, I've been in this neighborhood, and I'm in this neighborhood so often, I feel like I should have known. But the home where Judy Garland, her last home, is under construction, as you can see. I don't know whether they're building a new one, tearing down the old one, or yeah, obviously, I guess they tore down the old one, they're building a new one. But this is the location, at least, of the last full-time residence of Judy Garland. She lived here from 1963 to 1967 after her divorce from Sid Luft. And she lived here with the kids. With Lorna and with Liza and with Joey. And after that, basically, she was living in London to do a show at the Palladium. And you might have seen that period of her life dramatized in the movie, I think it was just called Judy, with Renee Zellweger. Anyway, if you're interested, look it up. I thought it was a pretty good film. I think Zellweger did a pretty good job. Once again, yes, I am with the pup, and he doesn't care what I'm filming. He just wants to go, go, go. So I'm going to talk about Liza Minnelli a little bit. Liza Minnelli, excuse me, that's the daughter. Was also quite famous, quite a star in her own right. I'm going to talk about Judy Garland. Judy Garland, who was born Frances Gumm, and in, I believe, 1929, but I'll have to, no, it must have been 1922. Oh, look at that. Look how close we are to Sunset Boulevard. See the traffic down there? Maybe not. I didn't realize. This is a little less desirable part of Brentwood because you're so close to Sunset. San Vicente, the other street, is much more quiet. Anyway, so Liza Minnelli, born, as I said it again, Judy Garland. I keep saying the daughter rather than the mother. Judy Garland, born Frances Ethel Gumm, I believe 1922, and her mother, she had a couple of sisters, and her mother really wanted the girls to be in show business. So they moved out to Los Angeles. Invariably, my eye always tears when I'm shooting. I don't know exactly what it is, all these beautiful trees. And by the way, I'm wearing like 3 layers because for me, I was born and raised here in Southern California. When it's 54 degrees at 4 in the afternoon, it's cold, and it's been kind of rainy and crummy all day off and on. I know that's a laugh for other people, right? 54 degrees, but it's cold for me. Anyway, so Mrs. Gumm wanted the girls to sing and to dance, and they did, and they formed an act, the Gumm Sisters, and for a couple of years they did 4 short films. I believe it was between 1929 and 1931. They went on the road. They played at the 1934 World's Fair. They were the whole time trying to get movie contracts unsuccessfully. I mean, those were the days when you went to the studio and hoped to get a contract. Finally, Judy, her Frances had changed her name to Judy Garland by then. Judy got a contract with MGM, and they weren't sure the first couple of years what to do. She was kind of plump, pigtails. They weren't sure how to use her exactly, other than in musicals of the day. Her big break, of course, came when the studio tried to get Shirley Temple away from 20th Century Fox to do The Wizard of Oz, but they couldn't. So old Frances got the part, now named Judy Garland, and she became a huge star from that point on. Unfortunately, that's when her problems with drugs and alcohol started. And let me back up and also say that her first year of the studio, which was before Wizard of Oz, her father died. The very first year she was under contract, so she basically became the breadwinner for the entire family, had to carry the family, the mother and the sisters. So after Wizard of Oz, you know, it became, unfortunately, a pill to stay thin, a pill to wake up, a pill to go to sleep. Anxiety disorder, depression, neurosis, Marilyn Monroe-ish, like, same kind of thing, very similar, unfortunately. And ironically, the two of them knew each other. So, you know, this went on for some time in her career. Judy was married several times. Now there's Sunset Boulevard. You can tell by all the traffic. I think we're going to turn around on Sunset, okay, little mister? And at one point, when she lived at the home that I just showed you, she lived with a husband named Mark Heron. Another one of her very brief marriages. And I wanted to just tell you a little story that I can relate. And I learned this from a book about Peter Lawford. And Peter Lawford apparently got a call one night from the the housekeeper. This is really, what is this? Looking without my glasses. This is a like plaster mache, paper mache dog or something my dog's looking at. It's not real. Looks real enough. Or what is it? Anyway, let me see. I better put my glasses on because I can't see anything without it. It's like a wolf or something. All right, let's go back. And so she got a call. Peter Lawford got a call from Judy's housekeeper, who said, actually, you know what? It was from Judy herself. And Judy said, you've got to come here. I'm sorry, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Judy herself. Something terrible had happened. So Peter Lawford got dressed, raced in his car, raced over here with shades of Marilyn, you know, the late night phone calls. And he came over, and apparently Judy Garland had cuts on her face. And he just went through the house, and he was applying kind of first aid, whatever first aid she had in the house. And then after he had done patching Judy up, the maid stopped Peter Lawford in the hallway or in the living room. She said, you know, I've got to talk to you. She said that, well, before that, Judy was sort of staring in the mirror when Lawford got there, and she said, look what that animal did to me. She said, who? And she said, Mark, my husband. And the maid later confronted Lawford in the house and said, the husband didn't do it to her. He said Judy did it to herself. She just was self-mutilating, cutting herself, and blamed it on the husband. So that's kind of the way her mental state was going by the late 60s. And like I said, when she moved out of the house that I just showed you in 67 with the kids, took the kids to London, or at least was moving around from kind of hotel to hotel with the kids. And from that point out, it was the London Palladium. And then she died in 1969, literally seated on the toilet. Now, her heart gave out. Of course, she did have toxic saturation from years and years of drug abuse. And, you know, the jury's out. Did she kill herself that day? Was it accidental? You know, accidental drug overdose leading to heart failure? You know, who will ever really know, or a combination of all of the above. Poor Judy, an extraordinarily talented soul, and talented daughters, too. Okay, folks, I'm going to call it there. By my eyes really tearing. I don't know what the problem is. You know, in the daytime, or earlier, a couple hours earlier, I can be doing my jog at the beach, up the hills. Got suntan lotion on, nice and sunny, and then it runs in my eye later, I guess. Maybe that's the problem. My problem, not your problem. Anyway, okay, again, my name is Ron, and if you like my channel, and I sure like doing this for you, please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button, because then you'll be notified as to when I'm posting. And also, please give me likes, because I like that, of course, and the algorithm of YouTube really likes it. And please comment in the comment section if you see fit. I like seeing your thoughts and your theories. Okay, folks, that's it for now, and we'll see you at the next location. Bye-bye. Zoom out on a house here, or just another gate.